spontaneously to come up here and did amazing. Okay, next we have Ed Wallison. Is he in the building?
If I'm going to be tied up like that, I usually get paid for it. All right. Hello, Trilogy Brew. All these talented musicians, all these young people, and now you're stuck with a bald, fat grandpa. How about that? Yeah. I'm really glad to be here. I love this place. I'm really glad to be anywhere because on November 5th, the 93rd anniversary of my father's birth, he didn't make it that far, but I had a heart attack. Yeah, they fixed me up pretty good. Let's hear it for the heart attack and the bald fat grandpa. That's good. Well, you know, the doctor afterward, he gave me the usual. Hey man, you gotta lose weight. You gotta watch your blood sugar. You gotta exercise. And I go, oh no, that sounds like a lot of discipline to me. But he said, well guys, your size and your age, I'm 67 years old. Sometimes they get a lot of enjoyment out of playing golf. And I said, no, sorry doctor. After what just happened to me, I don't want to go anywhere near there's a hole in the ground. But I'll tell you what, I'm kind of a creature of habit. I've been a practicing attorney for 42 years. I don't know how I made it that long. But I've also been married to the same woman for 32 years. You know, that's kind of an accomplishment. But it wasn't my first marriage. I've been married 3 other times, but I've never been divorced. How does that happen? My first wife died from eating poison mushrooms. My second wife died from eating poison mushrooms. My third wife, over in the corner, how do you think? She died. No, fractured skull. She wouldn't eat the mushrooms. Oh, but I'll tell you what, none of you people here look like you're even 30 years old, but I'm going to tell you the secret to staying married for more than 30 years. First off, you have to find someone that when they just walk in the room, you feel thrilled that they're just there. They have to have a good sense of humor, and they have to acknowledge your faults and accept them. And then you have to worry about whether all 3 of them will ever meet. I'll tell you a little bit about having a heart attack. The other thing was I got to ride in the ambulance, in the back of an ambulance for the first time. Since I'm an attorney, I'm used to chasing them. But really, it turned out okay. But just in case, anything happened that I couldn't start practicing law again, I opened a few businesses. One of my businesses is a veterinary clinic. And I also added a taxidermist. My motto is, no matter what happens, you get your pet back. I also have a factory that manufactures glass caskets and glass mausoleums. Glass caskets and glass mausoleums. Will it be successful? Remains to be seen. Oh, a donor, huh? Well, maybe you'll like my restaurant. It's down here. Anybody been to it? It's called Karma. Have you seen it? No, it's kind of an eclectic place. There's actually no menu. It's called Karma. You can only get what you deserve. But I'm thinking of putting a menu on there, and I thought, this is $1 million idea. Please don't anybody steal it. I mean, I thought it up. Anybody familiar with the BLT sandwich? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to add a little bit to it, and it'll sell itself. I say add guacamole and serve it as a quesadilla. What do you get? An LGBTQ sandwich. Well, it sells itself, right? Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird because with a restaurant, you have a staff. But I'll tell you what, they work really hard, and I was really proud of them last year. So I wrote them all $5,000 bonus checks. Isn't that nice of me? Good boss. And if they keep it up for this year, I'll even sign them. The last business I just thought of the idea a week ago, and I think it would be perfect. I want to start manufacturing biblical action figures. Biblical action figures. I thought it would be easy to make a profit. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my life as an attorney. Anybody care to hear the dumbest thing that anybody ever asked me to do? Yeah, why not? I'm here, right? Okay. This lady was the mother of a young man who I was coaching in AAU basketball. Right? You can tell by looking at me, I'm a basketball coach, right? Well, she comes in, this is serious. She comes in and says, I want you to sue my medical insurance company. And I'm like, okay, what happened? They didn't pay a bill that you thought they should pay? No, the problem was they paid the bill. And I'm thinking, oh no, but what is this about? What happened? She said, well, the doctor messed up my boob job. And I go, well, what does that mean? Yeah, he messed up my boob job. What does that have to do with your medical insurance? Well, if the medical insurance hadn't paid him, he wouldn't have done the operation and wouldn't have messed it up. I said, so you're saying the reason the doctor messed up your boob job is because he was paid by the medical insurance company? She says, yeah, sue the medical insurance company. I said, well, why don't you just have me sue God? She said, why would you sue God? I said, he's the one who gave you the bad boobs. Oh, that actually is a true story. I also, I've made it to a point after 42 years, the corner office and all that, but I was entitled to a new legal assistant, and it came down, HR sent down 2 candidates. One had just graduated from A&M, only like 25, 26 years old, but she had been working in her father's law office since she was 13. So she had very experienced. The other one was a transplant from Louisiana, mid-30s, wanted to be closer to her son and their new grandbaby. And she had worked in a law office for like 12 years. I said, they're both very, very experienced. So what am I going to do? How am I going to pick? Now, anybody have a guess who I picked? No? Oh. Well, I made it easy on myself. I picked the one with the biggest boobs. You like that one? Okay. Tell you a little bit about my family. I grew up in a small town in northeastern Pennsylvania. But one of the things I had to deal with, even though it was a Catholic school, I had to deal with a bully. He was 2 years advanced, had been held back 2 years. His name was George Visca. And he would mess with everybody, but he messed with me for some reason. He always pushed me. Back then when we had lunch money to buy lunches, he would take my lunch money, and I finally was getting really upset by it. And I went to my dad and said, Dad, I got this bully. He's messing with me every day. He goes, bullies? There's only one way to handle bullies. You stand up to them. You stand up to them because bullies are cowards. Tomorrow if he messes with you, you just get up in his face and say, my dad said that you're a coward. Bullies are cowards, so don't mess with me. I'm not going to put up with that anymore. So that's exactly what I did. He came up with me, started messing with me. I got up with him and said, my dad says you're a coward, and I'm not going to take it anymore. You just get out of my face. And he got this look on his face. And he just kind of put his head down, turned away, got on his bike, rode away. Went to my house and beat up my father. I went to a Catholic school. Anybody go to a Catholic school? Oh, we got some. Were you taught by nuns? No? Okay. Well, I was in one. It was elementary school. And the nun got up and said, hey, what do you people want to be when you grow up? And the little girl put her hand up. She says, I want to be a prostitute. And the nun said, what? That's totally unacceptable. Did I hear you right? She said, yeah, I want to be a prostitute. She goes, oh, I thought you said you wanted to be a Protestant. Oh my, they like that stuff. Okay, when I was growing up, I grew up in the 60s, and nobody can imagine that, right? The 60s. But One of the things in the small town, there wasn't a lot to do. We didn't have iPhones or anything like that. But we used to do things. We had Little League, and I wasn't really good at it. I wish I could do it again. I'm a lot bigger and stronger now. Those kids wouldn't have a chance. No, that usually goes over. Okay. They also, we played hide and seek. That's how much we could do. And there was one kid who was really good at it. We couldn't ever find him. And so one time we were out there and nobody could find him for like several days. And finally, unfortunately, they found him. He had suffocated in an abandoned refrigerator. Very sad. But you got to admire one thing. The kid went out a winner. I was like, they know. They remember being warned about abandoned refrigerators way back then. All right, now my family. My grandmother was a trip. 94 years old, she passed away. And, she never needed glasses. Isn't that amazing? She always drank straight from the bottle. And we had a little problem at 94. Well, we'll skip that one because I already messed it up. All right, but my grandfather, when my grandmother passed away, he was kind of depressed, and my brother and I decided to get him some company for the evening, so we went out and hired a sex worker and took her up to the apartment, and he goes, "Wow, guys, who's your beautiful friend?" And she goes, "My name's Angelique. I'm here to give you super sex." Super sex. He leaned back and said, "Okay, I'll take the soup." Now my dad, after getting beat up by the bully after 4 kids, he decided he needed a vasectomy. So he went into the hospital, and they did the vasectomy, but there was a complication, and they had to remove both his testicles. And they were a little concerned that when he woke up, that he may be a little upset by that. So when he woke up, they said, "Sorry, sir, your vasectomy is fine, but we had to remove your testicles. There was a complication." And he got mad and he said, "That's unacceptable. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the hospital. But first, I'm going to break your jaw." And the doctor leaned back and laughed and said, "You ain't got the balls." "Yeah, I heard you. You figured it out. That's not bad." I'm glad you didn't shout it out, though. But
Sorry,
that's okay, man. That's good. I had a sister who used to be a librarian, and one of the things that used to drive her crazy is when people came in and borrowed books on suicide, they never brought them back. Yeah. But she used to play some tricks on people. Sometimes when people come up and ask for books on paranoia, she goes, "They're right behind you." She also had a cat, and then she had a baby who was allergic to the cat. So she put the cat down. Yeah, it was sad. I told her, "Hey, that must have been horrible for you." She goes, "Yeah, it was, but the cat was sleeping 20 hours a day. What's another 4? I had a brother. I still have him. He was, at 14, he became a legend in that little northeastern Pennsylvania town because he managed to sleep with a teacher. At 14, he slept with a teacher. But it was very controversial because he was being homeschooled. Oh, they like the groaners. They like the groaners. I have another brother. He's a little weird. I came home once and I saw him urinating. And he said, "Hey, how about a little privacy?" And I go, "If you want privacy, come back in the house." Yeah, but I tell you what, I miss him. He went off and studied to become a mime. Nobody's heard from him since. Oh, come on. This is good stuff. Okay, now ready for a little maybe PG-13, maybe a little higher, closer to the R. You ready for one? No? You ready? Okay, knock knock. Little Boy Blue. Michael Jackson. Too soon? He's only been dead a long time. How am I doing on time? 1 minute? Wow. Well, my wife has a niece who was acting kind of strange in a, I guess you could call it a demonic sort of way. So my sister-in-law went and hired a priest to do an exorcism. And it worked. The kid calmed down. But my sister-in-law forgot to pay the priest. So her daughter got repossessed. Yeah, all right. All right, now I'm going to leave you with some philosophy, okay? Think about this. If you, my dad, after he got beat up by the bully and the vasectomy, he told me once that if you make a fire for a man, you keep him warm for a night. But if you set that man on fire, you keep him warm for the rest of his life. And if you... Anybody here drinking water? Yeah, anyone? Be very careful of that, because remember that fish have sex in it. So, and now finally, before I leave, Victoria, happy for your day the other day. I guess it was yesterday, right? Valentina Day. That's what. No, there's no Edward Day. But I'll tell you what. You guys are on all the platforms, right? Facebook. I'm on Facebook, TikTok. I go under Notorious BFG, Bald Fat Grandpa. Okay? But I'm really proud of what I was able to finally accomplish this week. I finally posted... Yeah, go explain it to her while I'm up here. I'm not quite done yet. I wanted to tell you all what I was very proud of posting on the social media last week. I finally posted my sex tape. Yes. I hope you enjoy it. It's a fabulous one-man show. My name is Notorious BFG, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much, Valentina. Oh, Valentina. Okay, thank you very much.
Give it up for Ed one more time.